Gentlemen, welcome to the program. Welcome to the show. This is Mark Vlogs Watches, and I am your host, Mark Goldberg. Stole that line from Andy Hunter. Missed that guy. Today, we are going to talk about an Omega. So let's go ahead and do the quick fist watch check, get that one out of the way. Here we go. And today, guys, I am wearing the Omega SMP. Kind of looks like a sandwich dial. It has a spectacularly long reference number, which I'm going to put down there along with some specs shortly thereafter. Guys, if there's a problem with Omega Seamasters, it's that it's not a descriptor, okay? If you say Rolex Submariner, well, you know exactly what we're talking about. Now, mind you, there's 4-digit, 5-digit, 6-digit. There's bezels made out of aluminum. There's bezels made out of ceramic. There's the 40mm case. I mean, there's some variety, okay? But if you were to take any Submariner from any age ever made, from 1957 all the way up through today, those watches are going to be recognizably Rolex Submariners. You're going to know exactly what you're looking at there. The problem with the Seamaster is Omega has been all over the board. They've just used that, they've used the title Seamaster indiscriminately, and so it's not especially useful. In fact, some of the Seamasters I don't even think were really dive watches. However, today, you see it's a little loose. We're going to turn this camera around. We're going to take a much closer look at this watch, but before we do, I would like to thank Exquisite Timepieces for lending me this and a couple of other watches. Exquisite Timepieces I've bought from them, I have sold to them. These are really good and easy people to deal with, and they've got bricks and mortar, great website, 50 different watches that they carry as ADs, exquisitetimepieces.com. Call my friend Nick. Now, let's turn the camera around. Let's take a look at this Omega Seamaster, and then we're going to compare it to this one, which is the most recent iteration of the laser cut dial, and I'll kind of tell you what I think about the comparison between these two Seamasters. Let's get busy, guys. Well, the first thing you have to know is this is a 41mm case, and it's got lots of photina. We have a nice ceramic bezel there with an illuminated lume pip. 41mm case. This is very, very vintage, very heavy on the antique Omega vintage design cues. I actually really love that sandwich dial. So there's a little bit of depth to those Arabics. And guys, I'm a sucker for Arabics. So you give me Arabics, I'm probably already happy. There is no date on this watch. We have the Lollipop seconds hand, which I actually love quite a bit, particularly given that the Lollipop is, instead of at the base of the seconds hand, where a lot of manufacturers like Seiko put it, it's at the tip of the seconds hand. A little bit more like Rolex, except for, in this case, it's at the literal tip. Just the tip, guys. And that's where that Lollipop seconds hand is. And I like that a great deal more, because when you look at it in the dark, it's swinging faster just due to some property of physics that I possibly couldn't explain to you. I love the fact that it has 0 crown guards here. And maybe the best thing of all about this watch for an Omega Seamaster, with a depth rating of 300 meters, is the fact that it has no wart here. It has no helium escape valve. There are other things that recommend this watch enormously compared to this guy right here. Oops, we got you upside down, buddy. Now, mind you, I do love my laser cut dial, which you can see the laser waves there. I don't love the wart. I've just gotten used to looking at it. This certainly has a more notable bezel. Sorry if this OCD thing is going to throw you off. The hands are completely different. These are needle hands with an arrow hand for the hour, and the syringe hand there for the needle hand there for the minute track. And here we've got skeleton hands, which again I don't love, but I have managed to get used to. But I'll tell you where this one really shines. Look at that sapphire, that boxed out sapphire crystal, whereas this is simply a domed one. So I do love the crystal here. Now, the fact that this dial is white, these are both 41mm watches. This one just wears bigger, looks bigger. But I'll tell you the difference. Another difference that I think is really to the favor of the vintage guy right here is the bracelet. You know, the weak point of most Omega watches are the bracelet. Look at the taper here. We have a 3-link bracelet here on the laser cut. We've got a 5-link bracelet, and we've got brushed in the middle, polished on the outside, sort of the opposite of the way Rolex does their brush bracelets. I think that looks better. But here's the really big deal. Look at the difference in size on these clasps. This is huge, okay? This clasp is smaller and refined, and when you open it up, it still has the push button so you can make adjustments on the fly. But this is a refined clasp. Just look at the difference in these bracelets. This, 1990 wants its bracelet back on this watch. This is the bracelet of the future. Oh my gosh, it's so much nicer. This guy has sort of an oddball. Oh, you're looking at the price. This is the original recommended retail price. At this time, Exquisite Timepieces has one in their used inventory for way less than that. So you might take a look, guys. And I mean, thousands less. And of course, you're getting a good look here at the ridiculous reference number. The 234-304121-03001. Now, I love the fact that there's no crown guards. We're going to unlock this, or unscrew this, and then it'll pop to the first position. I find that the tolerances here are very fine, so you don't feel a big pop. But we are now in the first position. I could hand wind, although take a look at that case back. We do have the Metis certified movement here, decorated with the rotor, heavily decorated rotor. And so the movement is quite nice, and we do get the display back with the scalloped edges there. Unlike the laser cut dial with the scalloped edges that go not only on the case back, but also on the dial, or excuse me, on the bezel, making this bezel difficult to turn. Here we get a beautiful coined edge, so this is super easy to turn. Now, I will tell you, the action is light. It is not sloppy. It is not unsatisfying, but it is fairly light. It is very definitive in its click at each position on this 120 click bezel, but it's not a heavy, stiff turn. If it were up to me, I would stiffen it up just a little bit. It doesn't feel cheap, but it's just a little too close to feeling cheap for my comfort. Okay, so we are in the first position, the winding position. But here's the cool thing, and I don't know why they've done this on this watch, but for travelers, I just love this. I'm gonna pull to the next position, and I can adjust the hour hand forward or backward without stopping the watch. So you're on a plane, you're in LA, you're going to New York, you got to adjust your watch 2 hours forward. You can just do that and then close it and then tighten her up. Yes, you can hack the watch. Just pull out to the next position, you know, and you've hacked it. Which, by the way, when you're on that plane and you need to adjust times on this guy, well, what you have to do is you have to hack the watch, you have to dial it back to where you want it, and then you have to reset it to a reference time. So, changing time zones on this puppy here, quick, fast, easy. Here, yeah, like a normal watch. Nothing bad about it. You do get the date down there at 6 o'clock, and here, this is just like the old original dive watches of yore. We don't get a date here at all. I'll be honest with you guys. This watch is here for me on loan, and on loan only. I have to return it. I don't usually suffer very much when I return a watch. Look at that. It's sort of like I want to call it, here the blue is showing through on camera even heavier than it is to the eye. Some of that I think is anti-reflective coating. To the eye, it actually looks a little more like dark gray than bright blue. So if you're seeing bright blue, it's a bit more like a granular, a dark gray. It's gonna hurt to give this one back. I'm gonna get it on the wrist. Still got tags on it and stuff. Not size, but I'm gonna get it on the wrist. I'm gonna show you what it looks like here. Find the sunlight. Ooh, there. I mean, I don't know, guys. This is going to be a little painful to send back. I think it's just beautiful. Fotina. It is not everybody's cup of tea, but I think it's very, very well done here, so I have no objections. What do you think? Tell me in the comments. Let's talk about it together. Goldberg. Peace out.
Paint the sky your favorite color.